Any questions on that item?
Yeah. This is the same firm that has been doing this for some time,
Yes, sir.
and and this was voted on, approved by TIFA, is that correct?
That is correct.
Recommended by TIFA?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And DDA, get us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Rocky, is this $270 per hour rate, is this the same rate that they've been operating under?
Yes.
That is,
Yeah, he's our most expensive person. According to Dean, he's well worth it, and we continue to use him. And as Mr. Stapleton stated, that we've been using him for many years, since the inception, I believe, that.
Yeah, I would imagine to switch at this time, it would be expensive because that's been so much speed.
Certain expertise.
All of the background has been there for 21 years I've been in Tiverton.
I think if Grant put it best during the whole discussion, they bring the multi-million-dollar liability coverage behind them, so whatever they kind of put in writing is backed by.
Well, in fact, I think Ranford, that was what he specified over the major discussion that we had in the last meeting. He
Pat McGowan, right.
wanted these people to review that issue.
Absolutely.
Okay, next is approving Wade Trim for professional engineering services. This is also for the DDA, TIFA, and Brownfield.
I think you skipped
You missed
one.
one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm AKT Peerless,
Yes.
Environmental Services. This is for DDA, TIFA, and Brownfield. Item 20.
They also have been doing it for a long time.
Correct.
And these are people that have been responsible for allowing the illegal use of the property between Beverly and I-94,
Did you say legal or illegal?
illegal.
No, they're not responsible for anything illegal.
Okay. Okay, how about the dumping that's been going on there?
They have provided the contractors to dump the virgin clean clay at that site. As
How
far
about
as-
the bricks and crushed used mortar, the,
Nope. Actually,
who's responsible for that?
whoever dumped there, legally dumped there. But
Legally or
Legally.
illegally?
illegally.
Okay.
And do we know how they got a key to the gate? So they could dump virtually at will?
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna talk about that, I think we talk about that under closed doors if, you guys wanna talk about that?
Oh, that's
Sure.
all right.
no, I
We
think we
can talk
should.
about-
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Now?
We'll come back to it.
Come back to it?
But as far as, I mean, obviously they condone any type of illegal dumping there because we're trying to make that compliant with the state and federal law, so absolutely not, they do not condone any type of illegal.
Well,
dumping.
you and I have had 2.5 years of conversation with regard to that piece of property.
Correct.
Be glad to be updated in the post.
Okay, so next is Wade Trim, 21. And that's for professional engineering services.
Is this-
And so is 22.
Correct.
But 21 was for the DDA, Brownfield, and other.
Right.
22 is not.
Correct.
That's for development services and planning.
Correct.
Any questions on 21?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Is this the firm that has been doing this work for the past several years?
Yes.
Is this contract exactly covering the same work that they have done in the past?
Yes.
Just give me a second.
Sure.
22.
And in the past, we have approved this, this firm for this situation without determining a limit to the expenditures that they can run up.
We use them on an as-needed basis.
And to the best of anybody's knowledge, have we ever bid this work?
That's my knowledge.
It's been for many, many years, I think it's continuously is renewed. That's our city engineer, they've been performing that service just like the others.
Okay.
Okay,
I think they're still using a 2005 rate schedule, if I recall correctly. Is it 2005, 2006?
and do we know what we spent, out of those areas last year? Do we have like a breakdown or a summary, of any sort, to them for that service?
Frankly, I don't think it's been very much the last few years.
I would have to,
I don't know.
look at the 2015 DDA budgets to see what they've done, but I would say it hasn't been that much.
What is the, is this, I can't read it, but at the back page of it, is it, that gives some documentation?
It's probably the rate schedule.
That page is-
Maybe I'm the one that has it. Grand
Do you have a
Albert.
better copy of that, Rocky?
Do you know what I'm talking about, Rick?
You said Grand Albert, I'm sorry.
It says Grand Albert's name on it. I don't know if it's something from before, an old item, it's agenda 11, but I'm wondering if it, I can't read it. So,
Do you have that supporting document?
it
or
was
the
dated
Rocky?
2011, so it must be some, I'm thinking it's backup, I tried it to some, maybe you could, maybe someone else could read it for me. Even with my eyes, I can't
The
read it.
last approval from last year,
I'm thinking that documentation maybe stating something, it has numbers, but I cannot read it, so.
Yeah, it doesn't have Grand Albert's name,
Name,
but it's
what's that name of this square?
listed as a Rocky Mountain Valley. It's a copy of a motion to approve the retaining weight trim to provide the services, and it's the motion from a year ago.
Right, from the grant, I'm saying, so I don't know if the numbers there would help us, he's asking what the price, you know, what we spent.
Oh,
yeah, they originally budgeted, and
Well, except that's the entirety of professional services.
Oh, okay, the entire, I couldn't tell, so I didn't know if it would be helpful, that's what I was trying
Eric
to.
happens to be here, maybe he can give us.
Maybe Eric could read it, since it's in, I'm not kidding.
It's a copy of the motion at the, from a year ago.
It either comes to us, it either comes to us in font two or sideways, what we get.
so they spent
Why
for the
wasn't sure
last
if it
year,
was helpful.
previous
that's
year,
what I'm asking.
76,000
For professional
for
services.
professional services,
Trying to help.
a $200,000 budget, so obviously they came a little short of.
Which includes legal services, includes attorneys, includes APT. All of that's paid for.
Okay.
All right.
I just
All right,
figured it might be
next,
helpful.
we'll go to 22, and that is wage trim for the Department of Development Services and Planning Department for fiscal year 2012-13 on an as-needed basis. Any questions for that?
Is this the same exact, level of service that we approved last year?
Correct.
Nothing's different, rates are same, rate schedule, everything?
Nothing's changed that I'm aware of.
Now, this involves plan review, for building, electrical, everything, but not necessarily inspection review, correct?
Right, no
It's
inspection.
just all plan review.
Notice?
Correct, so the larger items that come through the building department are shipped off to weight trim, and they do the review and shoot them back. They do it 3 to 5 days. Pardon me, yes, sir.
Back up the check.
All right, we're all set with that? Okay, so next we're gonna go to Budget and Finance Department. We've got item 6, which is to open public hearing for the budget. 7 is to close public hearing. 8 is to receive and file the truth and taxation calculation, and 9 is the tax levy. And 10 is the administration fee. We do all of those every year when we do this. So does anyone have anything to say about those items?
I did,
Ms. Tequila?
item 8, this question is for Jen. Jen, you use a, term, this report will not cross-foot.
I didn't use that. That's state.
What does that mean?
That's the assessors put that forward. It means that the numbers do not add down and across the same because there's different elements involved.
I was pretty sure it was gonna be a technical kind of term.
What it is essentially is in the assessor's office, they have concept of, you have a starting taxable value, and then they have some accounts that are subtractions or deletions, I forget how it's labeled. Losses. So those are accounts that are no longer here. So let's pretend a business leaves the city and takes with it that amount of taxable value, that's considered a loss. On the other side, there's additions, so those are the new businesses that came in. But that doesn't account for the entire change. The entire change is also accounted for by inflation or deflation. So the detail only shows additions and deletions, but the final numbers also involve inflation or deflation, so that's why they don't cross the.
Okay. All right, any other questions for items 6 through 10? And 11, really, I mean, we'll get to 11. So you wanna talk about 11 now? This is actually the budget. We received change sheet, and I was just trying to confirm today that I had the right one printed, the summary of changes from Janetta. Did everybody get that email from Janetta? From the summary of changes, update? I didn't make one. Let's see. How many want a copy of this email from Janetta? You got it, Ken?
This is Mary Ann's.
Oh, okay. Will we make about 7 of them?
Well, I should probably just put them, and make one copy, so I'm gonna put it, well, they're all gonna ask for it. Rate analysis, water, sewer, and first grade.